is 5 o'clock on this Sunday evening, May 27th, 2018. It is time now for the Beer Channel. 5 o'clock news on this Sunday evening, May 27th, 2018. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter J. Wiggins, 5 o'clock, and the temperature is 52 degrees in North Massachusetts, and our top story is on the Peter Channel. 5 o'clock news is U.S. delegation travels to North Korea for potential summit preparation. U.S. Navy warships in serious incident with China after sailing into disputed waters. Gulf Coast braces for impacts as Alberta nears with heavy rains and hazardous storm surge. Island yes voters celebrated leap forward in landmark vote on an abortion. Florida woman rescued from abusive boyfriend after slipping a note to her, vet deputy said. More than 60 Democratic lawmakers demand an ethics investigation into Trump's relationship with China. Anger grows over U.S. border policy. Supreme Court will soon rule in gay rights and gerrymandering in unions. Italy crisis worsens as PM designate fails to form government. Colombia votes in the first presidential poll since FRC deal. Cater bans goods from UAE and Saudi on some anniversary of porches. Trump spends a holiday weekend in Washington firing off tweet attacks after a Russian investigation in the Med. Elon Musk notes that the alleged sex cult is doing some good journalism at least. Quote, President Trump said a plan for June 12th summit in Singapore with Kim Jong-un hasn't changed, and the North Korean leader repeated with his comment. 7 firefighters were injured in a battle on the fire at a German amusement park overnight, local police said Sunday. Former President George H.W. Bush was hospitalized in Maine on Sunday after experiencing low blood pressure and fatigue, a spokesman said. Peter Moskos, one of 7 East Bridgewater friends who enlisted under the buddy system, was among 26 Marines killed in action during Operation Buffalo in July 1967, leaving a 19-year report right behind. At 11 a.m. on Monday Memorial Day, a dedication cabinet honoring Moskos will be unveiled at East Bridgewater Junior Senior High School. Despite cold temperatures, locals take part in the Memorial Day Parade in Avon on Sunday afternoon. Pluto may actually be a John Common News study suggests. FDA warns consumers not to use sunscreen pills. Peter Childers Tom. Peter Childers time is 5:02 on this Sunday evening, and it's time now for a Sport Report to Boston. Red Sox fall to the Atlanta Braves at Fenway Park 7-1 as the Red Sox take 2 out of 3 from the Braves, as it is on to Toronto for the game with the Toronto Blue Jays tomorrow at 1 o'clock. 8 other scores behind the major leagues at the Houston Astros and the Cleveland Indians tied at 8 in the top of the 11th after the Indians put on a fierce rally in the bottom of the ninth with 5 runs. Top of the 9th, it's the Milwaukee Brewers 8 in the New York Mets 7. Kansas City Royals 5 in the Texas Rangers, nothing in the top of the 7th. Top of the 7th, it's the Cleveland Cincinnati Reds trailing the Colorado Rockies 6-1. Top of the 4th, Oakland A's leading the Arizona Diamondbacks 1-0. LA Dodgers leading the San Diego Padres 2-0 in the top of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th, it's the Seattle Mariners and the Minnesota Twins tied at 1 apiece. New York Yankees defeat the LA Angels 3-1. Washington Nationals with the Miami Marlins 5-2. Detroit Tigers with the Chicago White Sox 3-2. Tampa Bay Rays over the Baltimore Orioles 8-3. The St. Louis Cardinals over the Pittsburgh Pirates 6-4, and the Toronto Blue Jays over the Philadelphia Phillies 5-3. Will Powell wins Indianapolis 5-1 after Danica Patrick crashes out in the last race of the career. How the Warriors unleash Klay Thompson. Jeff Green is starting to play third 11 game 7. It'll be a winner-take-all for the Eastern Conference title in the trip to the NBA Finals, as it'll be the 8:30 p.m. start time at Garden between the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Chicago White Sox that are eyes on OSU's Madrigal. Peter Childers' time is 5:04 on this Sunday evening, and it is time now for a Peter Childers traffic and transit check. Beep, beep. Let's study off on the MTA with a Fitchburg train 2408, 3:40 p.m. from Watchers operate 5-10 minutes late between Air, North Station, and Worcester train 2511 from 4:20 p.m. from South Station operate 5-10 minutes. Yaska between Back Bay and Worcester. And Thursday out looking good. Okay, look at the Dodgers and Bowies, New England. Let's start off down in Rhode Island where it's looking good in Rhode Island except the Route 4 southbound side. Little slow around the Exeter stretch around Route 102 out of the Cape. It's looking good. Route 3 at the northbound side. A little slow around Route 44 in Plymouth. 44 eastbound side. A little slow to cover Plymouth area. 128 at the northbound side. It is a little slow around the Kent stretch around Route 24 to 28. Suburbs Expressway southbound side. A little slow to Dorchester stretch 93 at the northbound side. It is slow around the Mass Pike in Boston at the Zenkin Bridge. 93 at the southbound side. Little slow around 128 in Reading. 128 at the northbound side. Little slow around Route 93 in Reading. 29 eastbound side, Little around 495 in Marlborough and Western Massachusetts highways are looking good. And out in Connecticut, 84 westbound side, Little around 384 in Manchester, Connecticut, and 95 on the southbound side, Little after Route 7 in Norwalk in the Darien areas. Here's 93 the southbound side, Little Woodstock, New Hampshire. And otherwise, 8789, 91 on the southbound side, Little continuing to the left side, New York and Vermont. Auto 59, northbound side, so correct here towards Montreal, Auto 55, so in southern Quebec. Peter Chell News Time is 5:05 on this Sunday evening, and it's time now for a weather report. And it turned out to be a day in early March or early April, then May, because it was a rainy, cold, and a raw day in New England. As right now we're looking at some rain showers from Boston vicinity, stretching down Route 2 from Lexington all down Leominster and down for North Adams, and heavy band rain showers southeast of Vermont and southern Vermont and southwest New Hampshire, and never batch of rain showers around Franklin, Massachusetts, and Woonsocket, Rhode Island, and some rain showers from Providence vicinity down to Wyndham, Connecticut. Never batch of rain showers from Bedford down to Falmouth, Massachusetts, and then raining around Nantucket and eastern portions and northern portions of Martha's Vineyard, and some rain showers around Middleborough, east of Plymouth, and raining around Quincy vicinity and up around Beverly. And raining down around the woodside of Taunton, Connecticut, and raining around Enfield, Connecticut. And raining around Amherst, New Hampshire. It's clouding up for much of Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and it's clearing up in eastern portions of Maine, and some rain showers of southern and eastern portion of Quebec, east and south of Montreal, and raining in upstate New York and extreme northwestern portion of Vermont. Temperature spread around in the region. It is in the 50s for much of southern New England. It is in the 50s to low 60s in northern New England, with a 62-degree reading in Millbury, Vermont, 61 in Burlington and St. Albans, Vermont, and it's 49 in Rockland, Maine, and 39 in Mount Washington, New Hampshire. Right now, Norton is 51 degrees, humidity 89%, 2.48 degrees by around 13 inches city, and wind speeds at 7 miles an hour. Alright, the latest on Alberto, the 5 p.m. advisory. It is now 50 miles per hour, winds with 28.0 to the north, 85.2 to the west, moving north and west at 12 miles an hour. Alberta returns northwest with no change in strength, and tropical warning along the west coast of Florida has been discontinued south of the Anticosti River, and storm surge watch has been discontinued along the northern Gulf Coast west of Navarre, Florida. A storm surge watch in effect for Crystal River to Navarre, Florida, and tropical warning in effect for Anticosti River to the Mississippi, Alabama border. At 4 p.m., the southern subtropical storm Alberto was located in latitude 20 below the north latitude 85.2 to the west. The storm is moving towards the north-northwestern 12 miles an hour. A north-northwestern moisture system decrease in force speed is expected tonight. The north-northwest to the northward moisture is expected Monday 5:29. The forecast track the center of Alberta will move over the northern Gulf of Mexico tonight and approach the northern Gulf Coast. In the water area on Monday, as heavy rainfall and tropical storm glaciers will likely reach the northern Gulf Coast will be well before the arrival of the center of Alberta. The Alberta is expected to move inland into the Tennessee Valley on Tuesday and Wednesday. Max the same winds 50 miles an hour. Gusts little changes through for the forecast before Alberta reaches the northern Gulf Coast at a steady weekend as after landfall. And Alberta is forecast to become tropical direction Monday night or Tuesday. Winds up 40 miles an hour, extend out to 150 miles an hour from the center, and it's been set to pressure 984 millibars to 236 inches. Rainfall, Alberta expected to reduce fall and rain and cumulation for Tuesday. Settled Cuba, average of 5 to 10 inches in SA. Storm totals of 20 to 25 inches. The Florida Panhandle and the much of Alabama, western Georgia, 48 inches, a slate 12 inches. Florida Keys and South Florida, average of 3 to 6 inches outside. Storm totals of 15 to 10 inches. West of the Florida Peninsula, 1 to 4 inches, and west of the southeastern Tennessee Valleys and the lower and mid Atlantic from Tennessee east about the Carolinas, 2 to 6 inches, and rains in Cuba could produce flat fresh floods and mudslides. And Florida and influx flooding and possible in the southeast United States, including Florida. And tropical wind conditions spread northward within the warm area tonight and continue about Monday. Storm surge, the combination of storm surge and the tide will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters moving inland from the shoreline. The water can reach the following heights above ground somewhere in indicated areas that the peak surge occurs at the time of high tide. Drifts will whip it in the valley float at 2 to 4 feet, and the deepest water will occur along the immediate coast, and surge related flooding depends on the relative time of the surge and the tidal cycle can vary greatly over the short distance. For the information specific area, please see the product station by local national weather service forecast office. And outside tornadoes are possible for tonight across the central and northern Florida Peninsula, and swells driven by Alberta will affect the eastern and northern Gulf Coast by Tuesday. Swells are likely to cause life threatening certain recurrent conditions. Please, for more information, consult the product in the local weather office. Alright, let's take a look at our forecast. It goes like this. For tonight, rain like a mean before 8 p.m. Patch fog over clouds got about 50 degrees. No, feet at about 6 miles and anticipation 6%. New pitch spots between 10 and inch possible for Monday morning today. Patch fog before 11 a.m. west. Clouds got about 60 degrees. No, for about 5 miles coming in the afternoon for Monday night. Mostly clouds got a low at 56 degrees. Light stuff wind. So if you go to the North Memorial Day Parade at 10 a.m. at Route 123 Norton, no problems at all, as it'll be marching down 123 outdoors. For Tuesday, most sunny and clear skies. How about 87 or about 49 degrees and west about 5 to 7 miles an hour, becoming north in the afternoon. For Wednesday, sunny and most clear skies about 37 about 31 degrees. For Thursday, most sunny and most skies about 81 about 37 degrees. For Friday, at Chester Showers, most skies about 80 about 59 degrees and just to 45%. For Saturday, Chester Showers, most skies about 33 about 34 degrees and just to 35%. And for Sunday, most skies about 67 degrees. And that is going to be it for the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news on this Sunday evening, May 27, 2018. Viewers will be have a good evening, goodbye today, dude, and I'll see you at 11 o'clock or after the Celtics game for Atlanta Airport. Hope you have a good evening and go Celtics!